Good morning, everyone. So, my topic is all about ancient Greece during the Archaic period, 750 to 480 BC. So, let's start. Introduction. The term ancient or archaic Greece refers to the years 700 to 480 BC, not the classical age, 480 to 323 BC. Known for its art, architecture, and philosophy. During archaic period, archaic Greece so advanced in art, poetry, and technology, but it is known as the age in which the polis or city-state was invented. So, during archaic period, they use advanced na sa mga technology and poetry and art. And also na this period, ang polis or city state ay naimbento na ba during this period. So the polis become the defining feature of Greek political life for hundreds years ago. So, archaic art. During the archaic period, Greek art becomes less rigidly stylized and more naturalistic. Painting on vases evolved from geometric designs to representation of human figures, often illustrating epic tales. So, this period, archaic, may art na ang art na din nila kay magkuan sila sa mga vase, bali magpainting na sila sa mga vase nga na, then they design the representation of human figures and illustrating epic tales. So muna nila mga example sa archaic art, mga vase. Then example of archaic Greek art. One of the most imposing and well-known archaic Greek sculptures of the curious type, naked youth, is Galuso's a funerary statue made in Anavisos around 530 BC. The sculpture's name is preserved on the epigram of its pedestal. Many areas are covered with color observable with the naked eye. So, muna yung mga example. So, that's all. Thank you.
Hello, good morning everyone. I will report to you on their religion function. If controls human life, their truth, God and spiritual concept, religion guides its member to be disciplined and civilized. There is a need to understand these functions and stop hating others' religion. Diba, as a servant of God, may ato sa lang pa morality, behavior, diba? So, ato yung din apply sa ato kaugalingon na dapat dili kita away sa iban kay tungod tayo nila pagtuulan sa bangato. So, kita sab na dool kita sa Ginoo, dili dapat kita magiglalis sa iban. So kung uni ato yon sa ato faith na una to katuuhan, ato dapat hindi lang kita magikalaban sa iban, kay dapat yun meto lang pa yun morality and respects to others, na dapat dili kita magikalaban mo dito. Asian archaic and characteristic sculpture face were animated with the characteristics. Archaic smile and bodies were rendered with the growing attention to human proportion and autonomy. So, Asian Greek, they are value their God. Anything they do is the accordance of their God. So, ang kaambaya ang mga Rebulto is more reflexive and kabali amoy lagi samba bito sa gawas na amoy mag Ginoo nila as a Ginoo. Okay, lang pa sikat God nila sa gawas.
Good day everyone, my name is Gerlie Galuso and I'm going to report to you today the classical period. Cleisthenes in 507 BC established the first democratic process in the social system of Athens, instituting the demos, body of citizens, as an autonomous political entity. Cleisthenes, also known as the father of Athenian democracy, established the democracy process in order to balance unifying force that a cruel government has, rather than a single individual. The democratic concept gives political authority to the people. Persian War in 490 to 479 BC, Athens played a leading role, marking the transition from archaic to the classical period and inaugurated a golden age for the city of the goddess of wisdom. So after pagkadaog ng mga Greeks against Persians, they then experienced peace and wealth and ilang gi-rebuild ang ilang mga cities. The reforms of Ephialtes in 462 to 461 BC, and even more so those of Pericles in 450 to 451 BC, with the supremacy of the demos, the election of the archons by a lot, and their obligation to be answerable for their actions, made the citizens a participants in the decision-making process and the management of the affairs of his city. The undoubted pinnacle of the classical art of the 5th century was the architecture and sculptural decorations of the Parthenon in 447 to 432 BC, where the divine is interwoven with the human element, and the man is designed as the constant and inviolable measure of the values of this civilization. Ephialtes and Pericles helped pave the way for the development of Athenian democracy by creating a new definition of citizenship. In 530 BC, Athenians inventors focused on the study of the human form. An example of human form are sculptures. Here are the following pictures. An example of it, and the vase painting. Vase painting, gigamit mo siya sa picture, as you can see. It is called the red figure style. It is called red figure style because of its clay. Ang color ng clay niya is red-orange. So, gitawag siya na red figure style. Tanggal lang sa mga orange. Realization of the link between past, present, and future gave birth to historical consciousness of the works of Herodotus and Thucydides, who recorded the events of the Peloponnesian War in 431 to 404 BC as the dramatic culmination of the expansionist tendencies of Athenian policy. So, sa tabang ng works ni Herodotus o ni Thucydides, which is a real recorded scenario sa una, the war between Greece and Persia, nag-exist na ang historical consciousness ng mga tao, and that it made them the first historians in Western civilization. The defeat of democratic Athens by the Spartan oligarchy and the turmoil of war affected not only the Athenian society, but also their art as well. By the 4th century, BC, Athens and Spartan had lost their leading position. The Persian Empire, which had contributed to Sparta's victory in the Peloponnesian War, secured its political influence in Greek affairs, and the rest of the Greek city-states became embroiled in local power struggles. So, sa pagkapili ng Athens sa Sparta, which is tinabangan sab ng Persians ang victory ng Sparta, murag naka-revenge gihapon ang mga Persian. So, sugod nang yadto na defeat in 4th century BC, nagsugod-sugod na pagkanat ang mga political influence o ang iban ng mga city-states sa Greece kay nagka-power struggle na dayon. The Battle of Chaeronea in the conquest of the cities of southern Greece in 338 BC, the destabilization of political life, facilitated the dominance of the Macedonians under Philip II. Athens experienced an economic downturn in this transitional period. The immediate impact was a decline in exports of its once in demand na mga vases. The study of human passions was perfected in the supple bodies portrayed in sculpture with their freedom of movement, their grace, and sensuality. So, in conclusion, the classical period in ancient Greece produced outstanding cultural and scientific achievements. This includes architecture, sculptures, sculptural decorations, and vase paintings. Also, the introduction of direct democracy political system to the world.
Good day, everyone. I'm Rachael Joy Tepan, and I will going to discuss to you the Hellenistic period. Before we proceed, let us know first what is Hellenistic period. Hellenistic period started in 323 to 31 BC. In 336 BC, Alexander the Great ascended the Macedonian throne, and under his rule, the cities of mainland Greece united in pan-Hellenic campaign against the Persians. The gradual breakup of the Persian Empire, the conquest of all countries as far as the deserts of Africa in the south and the Zahartes in Indus River in the east, and the transplantation of Greek culture to the outmost margins of the known world, indisputably marked the beginning of a new era. It would become known as the Hellenistic Age, and would be limited conventionally to the period between 323 BC, the year of Alexander's death in Babylon, and 31 BC, when Augustus achieved supremacy. During this period, the Hellenic world expanded.
The characteristics of Hellenistic art.
The three main qualities of unique to Hellenistic painting style were the three-dimensional perspective, the use of light and shape to render form, and trompe-l'oeil realism. Very few forms of the Hellenistic Greek painting survive except for wooden panics, panels, and those painted on stone.
Significance.
The period of Hellenistic influence, when taken as a whole, constitutes one of the most creative periods in the history of religions. It was time of spiritual revolution in the Greek and Roman empires, when old cults died or were fundamentally transformed, and when new religions movements came into being. Contribution: Hellenistic sculptures carved realistic statues, including the Venus de Milo, the Death of Loayon, the Dying Gaul, and the Winged Victory of Samothrace. the Earth to be round and accurately estimated in circumference. What was the most famous largest Hellenistic sculpture? The winged victory of Samothrace, also known as the Nike of Samothrace, is a Hellenistic sculpture that embodies Nike, the Greek goddess of victory, was produced around the 2nd century BC. Ever since 1884, the same was part of permanent display at the Louvre and is one of the most adored sculptures in the world.